Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dan.
I'm Ryan.
And this is Bourbon Sauced. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Also known as a Lady in the Bourbon on Instagram.
I think it's Huckberry.
No, so it actually, like, the real thing is...
Our little niche is that we just like to drink bourbon and bullshit, you know? That's why the big BS in our logo is we just like
There
to
it
bullshit.
is. Bourbon and bullshit.
This week, we are going to discuss what's coming up and the end of the season, which is another completion. We're going to wrap up doing the full podcast episodes unless something else comes along that kind of deems us to post it out there for everybody. But
It's going to be like Grey's Anatomy. We're going to leave you on a cliffhanger.
yeah, right. Well,
That's a good movie, by the way.
Cliffhanger? That's
Yeah.
an old one.
My
Still on?
mom is just next time we're in town, just tell mom you want to watch Cliffhanger. And
Who's
just,
the other actor?
Just look at the disgust on her face. She'll be like, "You all are watching it by yourself." And they're actually they have approved not a remake, a second Cliffhanger.
Is John Malkovich in that one? I don't think so.
No, it's the
Who's the bad guy in that one?
it's the guy from Third Rock from the Sun.
John Lithgow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's who's in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the main bad guy.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's an old one.
Uh-huh.
Before we get into too much deeper in the bullshit, we're drinking a special bottle here.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, Fifth Group does a special release, and you happen to be here and kind of lead the charge on this one.
Well, I mean, a bunch of us got together and decided, like, people kept asking, hey, are we going to do, are y'all going to do, we're going to get a barrel or a bottle barrel this year?
Yeah.
And they just kept on and on and on and on until a few of us were like, fine, we'll do it. So we sat down and went over, all the local distilleries, hey, who do you all want, right? And then it just so happened this year that the general consensus was to go through Casey Jones.
Mm.
And I mean, with the podcast, it helped. It gave us the in right there, so it was easy.
Yeah.
Granted, I mean, we have Leatherwood, who's literally Fifth Group family, right? You've got MB Rollin that's local. You've got so many local options, but that was the general consensus this year, so we scheduled it. 15 people, 3 barrels, blind pick, unanimous.
Mm.
Ended
So
up
this
being
mash bill is what?
78
unanimous?
corn, 78 corn, 13 rye, and
Is that on the bottle somewhere?
yeah,
I
it's on
assume
the
it is.
bottle. Yeah, I was on track. Damn it, 78 corn, 13 rye, and 9 malt barley. I was on it. By God. But yeah, so we picked the mash build
Okay.
and then brought 15 people up. Did the blind tasting, unanimous on this particular barrel. 128.5 proof. Does not drink like 128.5 proof. And as you can tell, before Dan got back from California, yours truly has already been partaking in the bottle.
Well,
So without further ado,
Out of
this
our
is
whiskey-
Dan's first taste of this.
this is my first taste. And out of our whiskey grill glasses, which if you guys are curious, you can go check it out on their website and buy them. But cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah, that's Casey Jones for sure. You can tell. They've got like a distinct taste of their bourbon
Mm-hmm.
because of that square bottom pot still that they're using. It just tastes different. Not in a bad way. It's just you can automatically tell that it's their stuff. And then out of the Grail, you get none of the heat that you normally would out of like a rocks glass.
The general consensus is this is the best bottle that any of the people from group that have religiously visited Casey Jones they've ever had.
Ooh, that's a big testament to Casey Jones and to the people who were picking. So,
You know, you want to toot my horn?
yeah,
Because
I'm not tooting no horns.
So I picked this barrel.
Yeah,
I'll say it, by God. I picked this barrel.
yeah.
I let other people, we pick based off of team numbers for other people.
You know what I do like about the Casey Jones experience? The dogs.
Oh, absolutely. Dogs. The dogs are great. Roxy has to come up, Peg's dog, and just flop over like, hey, you're here. Pet me. I mean, I've only been there like a dozen times now.
Copper is the like main mascot there.
Mm-hmm. He's the one that'll climb right up in your lap.
100%. But this is a pretty good Casey Jones product for being a higher proof than they normally would put out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it turned out very nice. It's a very rich color too. Like, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and for those of you who couldn't see because the label's in the way, I mean, it's got.
Wipe that bottle.
Oh yeah. Oh. It's got a good color in it.
It does.
You can tell it's. Was this how many? Does it say how many years it was on this one?
5.
Oh, 5 years. So that's so all right.
Yeah,
so you finally hit into their 5 barrel because they just cleared 5 year over there.
When we made sure that we did a 5-year.
Yeah. So that's perfect. It'd be also kind of a fun thing to do for the next years. They don't have that ability for next year's, but maybe the following year, because next year's 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And just trying to think of like when group was established and how many years that is till then.
So next year's 64. The following year, so 2026 is 65th anniversary.
Oh yeah, you ain't gonna find anybody that's got 65-year-old juice.
Ugh.
And probably would be oaky as hell.
Ugh. You made me throw up in my mouth.
Can you imagine? You open that
God,
barrel?
what are we talking? A scotch here that's been buried for...
Didn't they just... I thought they recently found something somewhere where it was like ancient Egyptian wine or something.
Yeah, they have big like terracotta pots, and then they put this like wax
like
seal over it.
And
cheesecloth, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that during the cork episode.
I don't know that you pull that off with bourbon, though.
I'd be curious to see.
Not in a barrel. You'd have to put it in a terracotta pot, because in the barrel, over time, it's just going to continuously
the barrel would rot.
Well, the barrel would probably rot, and then even if it's climatized, right? The barrel might not rot and climatized, but over time, all that bourbon's just going to dissipate.
There's no way that it would survive 65 years.
No.
Most of the time, these 20-year-old ones don't even survive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
like, supposedly, you can open some of them and there's nothing in them.
Well, that's, according to, the Pappy lore.
Pappygate and all that.
Supposedly.
Right? What was that president? I am not a crook.
Richard Nixon. Yeah. No,
I'm not poking fun at you, there or nothing, Pappy.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a crook.
Yeah. Let's see. Talk about things that we've got coming up the rest of the year. This will be the last episode for the podcast episodes. We're going to try to continue doing the Wet Your Whistle releases for everybody. Some of those could even be upon request, if like people from our TikTok or from our YouTube fans.
Yeah, if you got something you want us to try that we haven't tried, by all means, drop the comments. Hey, recommend this, recommend that.
For sure.
So moving forward, the goal is the Wednesday following a Wet Your Whistle drop will be a live trivia night, but all trivia will be related to that previous Wednesday's Wet Your Whistle, and then we'll have some prizes for the winner.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We do have things here at the house that we can give away as
hats, shirts,
prizes.
Different things.
Some whiskey
2 ounce thing of
handshakes,
cooking marinade.
Huh?
Yeah, cooking marinades.
Oh, is that what you're saying? There are
cooking marinades.
Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, it's wash your sister sauce. Yeah.
It kind of looks like it.
Yeah.
You don't know it
You know?
until they read the label and it says whatever. But you could always put an envelope in there with a little letter that says what it's in those handshakes, and there'd be no label. And you could put it like on the label A, B, C, D.
Yeah, but nobody opens your package. It just
You
goes.
never know, man. Some of these places,
It just goes.
it does just go.
Why are you being self-incriminating?
I'm not being
I'm telling you right now. Sometimes, sometimes when you're talking about things and you're like, I'm mailing out cooking oil, and then your counterpart over here is like, oh, is that what you call them? It's like, yeah, let's just divulge what I'm talking about here.
Listen, sometimes
Subtlety. He's been out of the military too long. His subtlety's gone.
yeah, fuck it. Just full send all the time. Fuck
it.
Arrest me. Put me in handcuffs. What do I care? I'll still drink. I'll just have it smuggled in. Or I'll make a prison hooch, in the toilet where they take fruit.
We actually did have, do a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of weeks ago, we did our first Wednesday night trivia,
Mm-hmm.
and actually had a winner for that one.
How'd that go?
Actually, we had one of our followers had some technical difficulties and dropped out with 2 questions to go.
Oh, that sucks.
So they missed out on that. But we ended up we had 4 competitors. 2 had technical difficulties and fell out. And then it came down to the 2 final competitors went into sudden death. So I had to ask, a random trivia question.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually, the winning question was, in one of our TikTok lives, Adrian came on and we were talking about tasting the bourbon and stuff. And she's like, yeah, is that one of them you got to chew? So you got to kind of chew it. So I was like, so that was the question, is like, what did I bring up in the episode 8 about the Elijah Craig 18 year that Adrian said I had to do? And then one of them was like, I don't know. The other was like, you got to chew it. Done. Winner.
Yeah.
So, send out some.
I think that one so far has done really good for us too.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the recent Wet Your Whistles, the Elijah Craig 18 year, and I don't know if it's because of that. Like, there's no way to see what influence. What was it? Was it because it was an 18 year that people are curious about? Was it because of the thumbnail? Was it because of the fact that people on TikTok knew that they needed to go watch?
I'm sure it was a mixture.
So it's like trying to figure all that out is always fucking.
I'm sure it was a mixture, because some of these people literally were like, yeah, I had to watch the episode 5 times to make sure I could get all the notes down that I needed to get down. So I'm sure some of it was that.
Yeah.
And then some of it was other people being like, oh, wait, there's a contest? Let me go watch this. And then, not necessarily participating in the contest.
Yeah.
And then I would say there was probably quite a few that were curious about the 18 year, because they haven't necessarily got to have it themselves.
Yeah, it's one of those that's difficult to find. And price point, they're not the greatest at price point.
It's definitely not one I'm going to chase.
No.
And I had a similar conversation.
I would rather do a knob 18 than that one.
With the main manager at the Class 6 on base, and he even said with the Elijah Craig 18 year, he's like, it's not something I would chase down. He's like, it's not even something that if I have it on the shelf here that I would probably buy, to be honest. But he did agree that Heaven Hill produces some really good products.
They do.
But that Elijah Craig 18 year misses the mark.
Yeah, and it's difficult because every year, some years are better than others.
He also agreed with me on it being very ginish in the dryness and peaty in the scotchness. So it was almost like gin and scotch had a baby, and somehow it got in a charred oak barrel, and that's what you got. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of one of the risks that you have, too, with a lot of those older bourbons, is that you never know how it's going to turn out. Like, you have the knowledge of what it tastes like at, 8 years,
right?
And 10 years, and 12 years, and however many other years, and then you get the 18, you're like, oh, shit. Like, we got to pull it,
Right.
And it's sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
I mean, we're 2 for 2 on Knob Creek 18 year.
Yeah, the batch 1 and batch 2 so far have been phenomenal. That's a Jim Beam product.
Yeah, it is. I ain't
And I'm
against
not-
Jim Beam products.
I'm not a giant.
I'm just
Beam.
against Jim Beam 7-year.
I'm not a giant Beam fan in general. Remember when I was drinking that in California?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the white label Jim Beam, which is like the rock gut. Like,
We ain't gonna talk about that one. You're dragging up memories. Yeah. We ain't going down that memory lane.
that's like wife beater juice.
We ain't going down that. Nope. Yeah.
You know, if you drink that, I could see why you beat your wife because you're so angry that you just drank something that bad that you got to take it out on somebody.
Yeah, but how do you explain your wife drinking a half gallon of it in 2 to 3 days? Crickets. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you.
Calumet 16-year was good too.
Pretty solid.
I don't think we've had anything else that's 18-year-ish.
Mm-mm.
But that Knob Creek comparative to the Elijah Craig was way better. What else are some? So, what would you say for this year has been some of the biggest surprises for you?
Biggest surprises?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's been a lot of surprises, really. And there's been some surprises that were even off camera, to be honest. Because I have to create different videos without you sometimes.
Mm-hmm. He likes to do it that way, anyways.
I don't really like to.
There's no pushback.
You're usually stuck at work, and I'm like, I'm not waiting until fucking 8:00 at night to crack into a bottle.
Don't let him lie. There's no pushback.
Yeah. So I usually just figure out something. But so far, some of the twist tops that we've had have been shocks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Old Forester 86 proof, right?
Yep.
That's not terrible. There's that Maker's Mark that was a twist top.
Yep.
The French oak or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was a shock.
The benchmarks.
The benchmarks so far, the ones that we've tried, that was a shock. There have been Evan Williams ones that were twist tops.
Yep.
So generally anything that has a twist top to me reminds me of like you scrounged up a bunch of change and you and your buddies were trying to figure out if you can get a bum to buy you a bottle at the liquor store. And then that bum came out with like,
I can see that.
Literally the cheapest shit, like whether it was Boone's Farm or MD or Mad Dog 2020 or
Southern Comfort.
SoCo. That one will make me throw up. You want me to throw up? Pour SoCo and I go.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. Ugh.
You're welcome for turning your stomach.
Oh, man, that one's rough. Southern Comfort's rough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how people like that. It's like cough syrup mixed with milk. I'm going to throw up thinking about it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I think my biggest surprise out of bourbons this year has been the Cooper's Craft Reserve.
What?
The Cooper's Craft Reserve.
You said Cooper's Craft.
I said Cooper's.
You said Cooper.
I think you're hearing things. But the Cooper's Craft.
My ears are better now,
Hey,
by the
all
way.
right, look, just because you don't like the Barker 7, okay? All right? All right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're gonna live on the Cooper Craft
Yeah,
now.
all right. So, but the Cooper's Craft Reserve was a big surprise for me.
That one is pretty good.
Especially finding it on base at $25 a bottle. I convinced 7 people at the Class 6 to buy a bottle.
Yeah. You know my favorite place that we've gone to this year has been?
That was going to be my next question. What?
Southern Collective. Shocking.
I would
It's
agree.
not a real distillery.
But I would agree. It's the experience.
It's 100%
and
the experience.
the atmosphere. Like it's, I like we've talked like bourbon is a family thing.
Yep.
Right. Southern Collective lives it.
Yes.
The hospitality they show to people that come in, whether you're a VIP member or not, the experiences that are afforded to you there.
Yep.
Leaps and bounds. If you are in the Nashville area or you're ever traveling through there, you're looking for things to do, 100% Southern Collective, in my opinion, is an absolute must stop.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a bourbon connoisseur or a bourbon chaser. I mean, I've had the privilege, I got to go down and spend the day with them for their 2-year anniversary party.
Yep.
Met multiple different people. Like we're talking people flew in from California for this.
Oh, yeah. It's a big event.
You know, people drove up from all over the place. to be part of this because they rather really enjoyed the experience. And then, I mean, you have so many companies out there now that have sourced bourbon.
Yep.
Right. The difference is they're the ones actually picking the barrels. They're the ones actually, doing all the work. And then you have, I don't know what you call him, but he's a blendologist, I guess. He's one of the blend. He'll help you blend your own perfect bottle. Or you can do straight from the barrel, or you can do bourbon flights off stuff they already have.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like their atmosphere. They've got plenty of opportunities, and something that I thought about, where we could even do something where we get our fans together and we pick out something, whether it's a half barrel or whatever, because they do allow, a small segment of bottles. And so if we had enough interest from our fans and we said, hey, all right, we're going to do a bottle pick, a barrel pick that we do, whether it's a blend or a single barrel or whatever.
Right.
And then we present that to our friends and family, and everybody's like, damn, all right,
Right.
Which is great about that place, that it's unique from anywhere else that I've been to. And we've been to a lot of different places, whether it was big distilleries, small distilleries. And even when I was out in California and Vegas, I kind of drove by and sampled some things from different stores that did their own single barrel picks. And it's something that was said about what Southern Collective brings to the table that most places don't.
I mean, we've only interacted as far as the main people goes. Justin and Miss Trish.
Yeah.
But Justin's awesome. Miss Trish is just great.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, as far as my favorite person out of the whole place, it's going to be Bernie. The dog wins it.
We're dog people.
That makes the whole environment when you go down there.
Yeah, his big old head.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hugger.
Mm-hmm. But no, 100%. If you're in the Nashville area, 100% recommend you have to stop by.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What day of the week are they not open? Is it?
Shit, I don't know. It's probably Monday.
No, Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday?
I think it's
I
Tuesday.
thought it would have been Monday because that's like normally the...
No, it's Tuesday because most of the other places are closed on Monday.
Mm.
So they bank on that off day.
Yeah. Also, the industry people can go do something.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of smart.
Yep.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Something about this year that you're most proud of.
I'm retiring.
Well,
I submitted my retirement. That's what I'm most proud of at this point.
I mean,
are we talking about
that's an accolade?
Or are we talking about the podcast wise?
Yeah, I mean, personal life, that's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a terrific one. No, I don't want to fucking take the limelight away from that because that's a huge accomplishment. I'm telling you.
But podcast wise,
things that we've experienced as bourbon sauced.
Honestly, I think if I'm being 100% candid, the most thing I'm proud of, I guess the thing I'm most proud of this year is how much we have grown through as far as understanding of each other and how what we bring to the table, what you're good at, what I'm not good at, what I'm good at, what you're not good at, and how we actually have figured out how to make that work and grow together. To me, I think that's probably the thing I'm most proud of is just leaps and bounds and improvements that we have made across the board.
Yeah.
And then your ability as far as the technical aspect, like I'm super proud of that because I couldn't do half the shit you do when it comes to the technical stuff. So that has been honestly a huge savior on some of these episodes.
Yeah. I fucking hate that doing the technical stuff, to be honest with you. I would rather we had somebody else to do it.
But that's what happens when you're the nerd.
Yeah, that is what happens when you're a nerd. I do have the nerd job. So it kind of lined up, being a commo guy and then still doing comm stuff as a civilian. But I think the thing that I'm most proud of for us, and yes, I agree with you on what you said.
Mm-hmm.
It's how we've been able to handle adversity.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest thing that I'm most proud of is that anytime we've faced adversity, whether it was technical or weather or people that are in the crowd,
right,
or anything outside of our control, I would consider as adversity.
Mm-hmm.
We've been able to kind of maneuver through this space and not allow it to affect us in a way that is detrimental. You know what I mean?
100%. I mean, bottom line, we could have allowed a lot of stuff to cause problems, and then next thing you know, Bourbon Sauce Podcast would be gone, and we wouldn't have made it to Whiskey Grails. I do got to say, compared to last year, though, leaps and bounds, networks and interviews compared to our first year. Obviously, leaps and bounds improvement, not just on the technical side, but everything from meeting up with Whiskey Grail, meeting up with MB Rollin, Casey Jones, Leatherwood again, Southern Collective. So many great people that we've gotten a chance to meet and interact with and interview and sample their stuff. It's just been an awesome year. And I'm hoping going forward that our next year is even bigger and better, right?
I agree. And on the horizon, and speaking of events, we do have the Rock the Green Beret event that we're about to go to. People still curious about that. You got time to buy tickets. They're $75.
November 10th.
November 10th at 11 o'clock at Kid Rock's Big Ass Honky Tonk.
Honky Tonk.
Big Ass Honky Tonk. And so you can go with us and show up in force if you want to.
Highly encourage.
It.
If you're going to come and you know we're going to be there, rock some Bourbon Sauce swag.
Right. My buddy Bynum is actually flying in that weekend, so he's going to tag along with us, which is going to be fun. So it'll be a trio versus a duo.
Ooh.
And he's
what do they call that? A thruple?
Yeah, it's two Dans and a Ryan.
Oh shit!
Is that like two wrongs and a right?
I guess we're gonna find out.
Him and I together are a fucking handful, so this is gonna be interesting. We're trying to get our other buddy.
I gotta be the sober dad and be like, all right, children.
No, we're gonna get a hotel for the night.
Oh God.
We'll just have to make sure that somebody takes care of the dogs in the morning.
All I can say is Katie bar the door because shit's gonna get crazy.
Yeah. We're trying to see if our other buddies are gonna come up or not. So you're gonna be outnumbered because there's gonna be some Air Force guys showing up to the event. So you guys are welcome.
Wait a minute. Did you just say I'm gonna be outnumbered?
Yeah.
At a Green Beret event?
Yeah. There's going to be Air Force nerds showing up.
Yeah, but I work for Fifth Group. I don't think I'm going to be outnumbered.
We'll see.
I think just...
That gauntlet's being thrown. If any other Air Force nerds want to show up to this thing...
I think just by design, I'm not outnumbered. If I'm outnumbered, I got problems at that point.
Well, that's what we always said when we were on an Air Force base. If we're getting overran, we got fucking problems.
Agreed, but we're talking about a Green Beret function, and I currently work for Green Berets, and if I'm outnumbered at a Green Beret function, we got problems.
So, those of you that are Green Berets, you probably should show up in force now. Those of you that are not Green Berets, but other branches, and you'd like to show up, go to the Rock the Green Beret webpage on their Instagram.
Get your tickets now.
Get your tickets now. And you can show up.
You know what? Okay. I'm going to call the Navy in. All right.
A fleet of fucking Navy.
I'm going to call the Navy in. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be hilarious. We got a bunch of Navy guys show up.
Dude. Have Navy in the corner, Air Force in the corner, Marines back here.
It'll be like high school prom. You know how you had like the weird groups collectively in different spots? That's the way it's going to look. That's going to be funny.
I don't think we have room for Space Force, though.
Nobody's got room for them. Give them the Coast Guard should thank them for coming along because that literally is now the biggest joke.
I mean, now they get to sit in a corner with aluminum foil and potatoes. It's okay.
Yeah, they've got their foil cone hats and talking R2D2 to each other.
God.
Fucking yeah.
I'm just waiting. Like, we have guys at work that are like, are they going to do the Space Force Special Forces? I'm like, that's actually a thing. They just haven't established it yet. Yeah. But they're working it.
Aliens, that movie, Aliens, that's what I'm thinking of.
I'm thinking of like Kurt Russell, Soldier.
Okay.
Where he gets dumped because he's no longer usable. They say he's
What's
old
that other one with Chris Pratt? They're not really aliens, but they're,
There's
another one. Anyway.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, that's superheroes. I was thinking of something else, but maybe that one's not so much alien.
Passenger?
Is it Passenger?
Where him and the girl from...
No, that's not that one. It's another one where they're like fighting.
That's the not day after tomorrow. Tomorrow War. It's where you go in the future and have to fight those aliens.
Yeah.
That's Tomorrow War.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not Space Force.
Well,
That's time travel.
it could be.
All right, that's quantum
Maybe
leap. That's quantum leap shit, and he's still trying to find his way home.
That's the magic school bus.
One
Either way.
more leap. Till
Yeah.
the next
What other
leap could
future
be the
events do you
leap
think-
home.
Next year we're trying to make it to the KBF. We missed it this year. We had a lot of different things going on.
You were gone.
I was gone. You had the golf tournament thing that was
Well,
going
not
on.
just. I mean, I could have gone, but you were gone, which meant I had 3 dogs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
So I couldn't go. But honestly, it's still like I can go and mingle, but it's still not as fun.
Yeah. That's an event that we need to go to.
And hopefully next year's event we can actually get set up with like press pass.
Yeah. I've got to talk to a couple people that we do know
Mm-hmm.
and see if that's possible.
I've been talking it.
Good. And then there's another event that you're really heading up for hopefully next year. We're not going to give too many spoilers on it, but just know that it involves medals and bourbon. And
Trying.
possibly events.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds kind of
There's
like
a few hiccups and snags, but trying.
Sounds like-
my damnedest.
Olympics.
Pull?
Olympics. It sounds like Olympics.
You know what? I'm just going to... Sometimes you just got to let a dog lie. And this is a dog I'm just going to let lie. Okay? All right. We're just going to let that dog lie. Okay?
Yeah. But either way, we got a lot of things that are on the horizon. So you guys should really just stay tuned. Tune in. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends, do all those things that social media is good for so we can expand our network. You're
Also,
sporting that sweet ass jacket.
that's because fall's coming up, by God, and it's actually been a cool day, and it's been a little rainy today. So this bad boy has repelled the rain and kept me slightly warm.
So it's repelled both the rain and the cold
Yeah.
and the wind.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a trifecta of repellent.
Damn right.
What about bugs? Is it bug repellent?
I don't know.
I bet you if you sprayed it, it would be.
Well, I mean, I'm sure if you sprayed it, it would be. But yeah, so you can
It'll
get these
keep
on
the
our
days
website, actually, under the embroidery store link.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And in all fairness, it's as good as a Carhartt, but not as expensive. Yeah, I know you're jerking on your flannel. I thought you were about to pull a magic mic here for everybody.
No, I'm not
Just-
jerking off. I'm
He's
just-
going to rip it open. There are flannels on the embroidery site too, as well, for everybody that's interested in a fall, festive, wintertime flannel with a bourbon sauce embroidered on the pocket.
And so there you have it. We're going to
Mhm.
have a whole lineup of fall things coming.
Mhm.
We've got the hoodies on our normal website. We've got the new
We got a long
funny
sleeve tee,
sayings. We got a long sleeve tee.
Mhm.
It's
not
only
just the
$40.
3/4 Latin. So you have the three.
The raglan.
So y'all don't get confused. There is a 3/4 raglan, like I just got tongue tied there. There is a long
your weight in
sleeve tee,
Wildcats.
and then there are regular tees. See, I didn't do that before we started this show, and that's why I got all twisted, because you're supposed to whip your weight in Wildcats, whip your weight in Wildcats. See?
And as a Vols fan, you got to
Mhm.
whip them Wildcats.
Yeah, you whip your weight in them Wildcats, by God. Go Vols.
Did they beat Ole Miss?
Who?
Kentucky? I'm going to have to edit this part out. I think
I don't think.
double check the score because they were beating Ole Miss today,
I don't know.
which would have been the second
Dude,
upset that Kentucky's had this year.
They almost beat Georgia.
I know. Kentucky's actually playing better than they did when they had Will Levis.
Dude, South Carolina had some good upsets, and then they botched it against LSU.
Michigan won by the skin of their fucking ass.
Yeah, they
didn't
did.
Do shit in
Mhm.
the second half.
Yeah. Them Gophers were gopher hole in Michigan's butthole on that
Yeah,
one.
Kentucky actually did beat Ole Miss. Big upset. That means Tennessee's going to stay up high.
Tennessee's going to skyrocket.
Well, Tennessee's already like fifth, I think.
Uh-huh.
And Ole Miss was sixth.
Oh, they switched spots.
Mm-hmm.
We got Arkansas next week. We're on a bye this week.
Oh yeah. Well, I think Tennessee is going to skyrocket. Let me double check here rankings.
Freaking Ohio
Yeah,
State.
Tennessee's 5. Ole Miss was 6.
Ohio State disgusts me every year.
Yeah, they got a lot of talent.
No, it's not that they have a lot of talent. They're overrated as fuck every year.
Dude, they've been beating the snot out of everybody.
Who have they beat?
Well, that's true too.
That's what I'm saying. You beat the snot out of everybody, but who have you beat? Like, I guarantee you.
All right, so their first real game is this coming weekend against Michigan State.
Right.
And then it's Iowa, Oregon, Nebraska, Penn State, Purdue.
Exactly. Like, put Ohio State against the SEC. They're
gonna have a tough run after these first 3 games. But Texas,
dude, Texas,
fucking unreal.
Texas,
how good Texas is playing
out for blood this year.
And I'll tell you, Arch Manning is looking way better than he did a year ago.
100%. But Texas is out for blood. And I think part of that is because they can't be called UT anymore. They can't.
Why can they not?
Because they are not UT.
They're University of Texas.
They're University of Texas. You said it correctly. Did you know who UT is? The one and only original UT is University of Tennessee. So when Texas came to the SEC, they were told you can no longer call yourself UT. It is University of Texas or Texas University or Texas Longhorns. But UT belongs
or just
strictly,
Longhorns.
Exactly, but UT strictly belongs to Tennessee Vols.
That must have been an SEC-ism.
It was.
Because it
100% was. And that Longhorn network goes bye-bye. You can't charge people to be on your TV show no more.
Which is kind of funny to me that they were able to...
I mean, technically, Texas destroyed their conference.
Oh, yeah.
Financially.
Leaving the Big 12? Big 12 isn't they should just shut it down.
Mm-hmm. But I'm saying not leaving them. They destroyed them financially while they were there. Charging other teams to even be on their TV show and all that shit. They destroyed them.
That's Texas.
Yeah.
It's a capitalist environment down there.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to thrive. So
they were trying to control shit.
Well, I mean, you got a bunch of oil riggers down there.
All right.
This has been pretty spicy.
Mm-hmm.
I like it though.
You know, we should probably try and reach out to the Irish Rangers and see if we can have them on.
Yeah, we tried to get those guys on. They had a run out of town.
We could get them on while they were in town, but that would be kind of cool to have them back on.
That'd be fun to have those guys on.
Reminisce.
Yeah, maybe get them to come down and wear a Hooters outfit again. That'd be fun. For those of you who haven't seen it, go back in time and look at our Instagram and TikToks and everything else.
That was an interesting conversation that started all that, though.
Yeah.
You go from a few drinks at the mailroom to the next thing you know, a couple days later, we're at Hooters and
then you take them to the range.
They're in an outfit. All to go to the range just to play pew-pew.
Hey, man. I'll do some strange things to sling lead down a range.
Yeah, well, he dressed in a Hooter outfit. So, fair enough.
I don't blame him for that. Especially if you get to do it with GBs. You know what I mean?
Very true. What else we got coming up this year? So you got Rock Green Beret. I know
we got Thanksgiving. We got Christmas.
I know we have some distillery tours scheduled. So that's stuff that'll be pre-recorded, honestly, so that you all will get it following season.
Yeah, if we can get those lined up, I think.
I'm working on the Brushy Mountain.
The
Brushy Mountain. The prison converted to a distillery.
The fuck you say?
Yeah. I'm going to go lock you up. Locked up, won't let me
Where was
out.
I at? They had a barbecue joint in a prison.
Maybe while we're there, we can run into Diddy and Akon. Maybe some
I'll bring the baby oil.
Locked up, won't let me out.
Yeah. Well, it's not Folsom Prison.
No.
So no Johnny Cash, no cash at all.
But it's Brushy Mountain. Not Bushy, Brushy. Okay. Just to clarify.
That's something that could be discussed. Yeah, I don't think we have a whole lot left other than some wet your whistles, some distillery visits, some family gatherings.
Absolutely,
enjoying the
family
holidays.
gatherings. But yes, stay tuned for Wet Your Whistles. And the following Wednesday after a Wet Your Whistle, the goal is to have the trivia night.
Yeah, instead of having a podcast.
Yep.
So it'll be Wednesday. You should expect something.
Till the next season
till the
kicks
next
off,
season
which
kicks
is
off.
March.
Ish.
Technically, it would be the first Friday of March.
Ish. Because we'll see. It's ish. It's an ish. It's a wiggle.
Might have to adjust due to work stuff, but
Yeah, 'cause I know
ultimately, the season should go March to October.
Generally,
ultimate.
yeah. Generally, we're trying to do it seasonally,
Mm-hmm.
so that way we can still have time to
Yeah, because I
navigate
mean,
in life.
I like you all, but if I'm being honest, it's fall coming up. That means ATV riding. That means Thanksgiving. That means Christmas. That
We
means
could
New
do
Year's.
recordings while we're ATV riding and drink bourbon while we're. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
Oh, see,
Cops don't want us to drink and drive, so that
I
doesn't
like
happen.
how his mind immediately was like,
Mhm.
bad idea.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah,
We
see,
don't
that's not a what you call a blue falcon or a good idea fairy. That's the bad idea fairy right there.
Biff.
That is the biff. That is the biff.
You know, Biff was on
I think you just
Back in Time
I think
or
you
Back
just
to the Future.
yeah. Biff Tanner.
I wonder if that was
I think you just made a shirt.
Biff.
Biff.
Bad idea fairy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
possible. That
Mm-hmm.
with a bottle of bourbon
Mhm.
and glass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You just got biffed.
You got biffed.
Mm-hmm.
We can coin that. We're gonna trademark that. You got biffed.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who are gonna try to jump on that, but
Hold
Either
my
way.
bourbon. I'm about to biff.
hobo bourbon. We can call it hobo bourbon.
Ooh.
And people be like, "What the fuck?"
We'll break out the chains and just drag it around.
Any more? Any more?
I don't need more.
No, you want more?
No, I still have some. Ho,
No, you're
I gotta piss.
you the hoe.
Jesus.
We're a cheers and we're gonna wrap this up.
Well, I had plenty then. Damn it.
Oh well, sucks
That's
to
why I
suck.
said I didn't need more.
Now you got more.
God, I need to pee.
Pee your pants. Pee your pants is cool. No, pee your pants on that show. Because knowing you would. You'd be like, oh.
He looked
okay.
over and he saw the look in my eyes and he's like, I retract that
Yeah.
statement.
Teeth floating? No, don't pee.
I retract that statement.
Either way.
In the morning, he'd be like,
Why
What
does my
happened?
carpet smell like piss?
Thor did it.
Yeah.
Thor did it.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd probably be like, you know what?
You did it.
It's because you
You
told
did.
me to piss, so
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, you
You
said, I
blame it on
bet you
me."
won't.
Yeah.
Don't forget our merchandise.
Don't forget our merch.
And it's fall. So hoodies. Dan had some requests for the Tony the Toad to go on the front side of the hoodies. So you got the back side option, the front side option. You
He
standard.
did say backside
Yeah,
first.
I did. The bourbon sauce standard logo. Then you got stuff on the embroidery site. So new t-shirts coming out, new hoodies designs out there, check it out. Check it out. Beanies on the embroidery site. There's a lot of shit. So check it out.
And if you want a chance to win some hats that we don't have in the merch shop, make sure you join us on the TikTok lives on Wednesdays for trivia.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of those can be gifts that you win.
Check out our Patreon.
The
Ooh.
biggest thing that we try to do is make sure that you are a Patreon subscriber or you are a TikTok subscriber. We'd prefer you to go to Patreon because TikTok robs us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's up to you. Either way, you'll still be eligible to win stuff if you're on Patreon or TikTok.
Yep.
But until next time, drink your favorite beverage. Hopefully it's bourbon and get sauced.
Cheers.
Cheers.